everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and thank you for watching. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. So today's video is going to be a full face tutorial on the makeup that I wore to Warped Tour. If you don't know what Warped Tour is, it is a all day long concert that happens in the summer, usually at outdoor venues. A ton of different bands play. I talk about who I saw and everything a little bit later during the tutorial. So I just wanted to recreate my makeup look from the concert and share it with you guys. And I also included some Snapchat footage of the concert at the end of this if you want to stick around and see that as well. So this not only is it a Warped Tour concert makeup look, but this is a full face of how to get long lasting makeup if you're out at an event. Like, this is summer proof, sweat proof, heat proof. It will last you all day long at whatever event you're at. So if you want to see how to get this Warped Tour makeup look and this long lasting summer heat proof makeup look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the eyes first. I'm going to start by priming my eyes, and I'm using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. This is probably like my second favorite primer. My top favorite one is the Smashbox one. That one lasts all day. This one's still good, but I feel like the Smashbox one just lasts even longer. So I would recommend that one, but I just have not repurchased that yet, and I had this is just like the little sample size. So I'm going to be using this and just putting just a little bit all over my eyelids. And then I'm just going to set that down with powder. It could be a loose powder or any sort of translucent powder. I'm just taking this Smashbox Cali Contour Kit, which I'll use later on in the video too, and taking the banana shade in the palette and using that to set down this primer. So the palette that I wore for Warped Tour yesterday, so today's Monday, so yeah, oh my god. Okay, so the palette that I used for my eye look yesterday for Warped Tour was the Jaclyn Hill palette. I actually wore this at last year's Warped Tour and it worked out really well, so I want to use this again. These shadows actually do last a really long time. It lasted through Warped Tour, and if you've never been to that, it's an intense concert. It's all day long in the hot summer sun. You're in sweaty mosh pits all day long for all these different bands, and it's awesome. But this lasted all day last year, so I want to use this again. And it also has all these different colors, so I can do any kind of look with this. So this is just a really awesome palette to have. So I'm first going to start off my transition. I'm going to mix this shade and this shade together and put this in my crease. I'm just going to keep building this up until I'm happy with it. And the brush I'm using is a Morphe M505. Okay, so next I'm going to mix this color here with this color here and keep this pretty low in the crease. I'm just trying to, you know, deepen everything up a little bit. So I've been going to Warped Tour since, I want to say 2010. I was a sophomore in high school, so that would have been 2010. And I've gone every year since. And I guess this year they are ending the tour, so this was the last one ever. I mean, I don't know how true that is, if they're still gonna do something next year. I know this is the last cross-country tour, so since I live in Connecticut, I'm probably gonna have to travel if I ever want to go to one again. But I'm still kind of holding out hope that, you know, they're gonna do something big next year because it is their 25th anniversary of the tour, so I would think that you would want to do something to celebrate that, but I guess we'll see. That's been, that tour has just been such a big part of my life, and I love going to it every year. It's what I look forward to all year long. It is the highlight of my summer. I've discovered like so many bands that I love from just seeing them perform on Warped Tour. Just gonna go back in with that first brush I used and just make sure this is all blended and blown out. I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This is a Morphe M433 and go in with this color here. Kind of focusing this on the outer corners just to deepen that up, and then dragging it into the crease as product starts to leave my brush. But yeah, it was so much fun yesterday. I will say the set list, or not the set list, the lineup was just not what I would want it to be. You know, especially it being the last tour. I would have hoped that a lot more bigger bands would have spent their summer on this, especially since most of those bands got their start on this tour. But I ended up seeing, what did I see? Saw the Amity Affliction, Ice Nine Kills, Falling in Reverse. I freaking love them. That show was so good. Who else did I see? The Main. I caught a little bit of Mayday Parade. I did want to see Crown the Empire, but they conflicted with Falling in Reverse, and I like Falling in Reverse a little bit more, so that was priority for me. What else? Oh, I also wanted to see 303, but I was dying at that point and needed food, so I did that instead. And I've seen 303 like a million times before, so. And I also wanted to see Simple Plan, but they didn't go on until like after 8 o'clock, and I was so done at that point because I got there actually on time. This is the first year in the however many years I've been going that I was actually on time. And they're at 11, expecting like a lot of my bands that I want to see to go on early, because that always happens. I always get there late, and I miss a lot of the bands that I want to see because they go on right at 11. But that wasn't the case this year. Most of all the bands that I wanted to see didn't start until 2. So I was still there at 11, and I didn't leave until I left at 8 o'clock, yeah. So it was a long day. Okay, so next I'm going to take a smaller precision brush. This is the Morphe M506. And I'm going to go in with this dark red shade and pack this all in the outer V. I don't remember exactly what look I did last year for Warped Tour, but I feel like it was really similar to this. It might have been the same thing. I'm gonna go back in with that Morphe M433 and just blend this out. So then I'm going to go in with a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and cut my crease, do like a half cut crease a little bit. And I'm mostly just doing this just so that, you know, to clean everything up first of all, because I was really messy with it. And just so that the shimmer shades that I lay down will be a little more prominent and just show up a little bit more. Okay, then I'm just going to take a flat packing brush and pick up this shade here and pack this on everywhere I just lay down that concealer. Take a smaller flat packing brush and I'm going to pick up this shade up here and pack this in on the inner part of my eye just to brighten that a little bit. I take that smaller brush I used to apply the red with and just add a little bit more of that and kind of merge the two colors together. I'm just wiggling my brush back and forth just to blend them into one another. And then I just picked up some more of this, the shade here on a Morphe M330 brush, and I'm just going to blend out the top here so it's not such a harsh line. And with just a fluffy brush to blend everything out. I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and wipe off the fallout here and just clean up this edge. The eyes are complete, and I'm gonna move on to the face, and then I'll come back to finish up the eyes later. By the way, please ignore my bare face right now. I'm a little sunburnt, if you couldn't tell. Okay, so this is going to be your ultimate summer-proof, heat-proof, sweat-proof face makeup routine for oily skin. If you don't know by now, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I mention all the time that I have super oily skin. And then, so obviously in the summer heat when you're sweating, it just gets so much worse. So this makeup did last all day at Warped Tour. I will say though, you know, going into the crowds in the pit and crowd surfing and the lots where the stages were, and it's like a dirt lot, I ended up getting dirt all over my face, and you know, that, you know, obviously ruined everything, but it looked totally fine all day. I was happy with it. It lasted the good majority of the day. You know, if I didn't, you know, jump in the crowds and everything, then it wouldn't have been a problem. But, I mean, it was the last Warped Tour I had to. So, first I'm going to be starting off with a moisturizer, and I'm going to be using this Sephora Hydrant Mattifying 8-Hour moisturizer, and it's SPF 20, so you always... This is how I like to get my SPF on my face. If I'm wearing makeup to like a beach or a concert like this, some outdoor setting, I always make sure SPF is in my moisturizer and my foundation or primer, because I'm not going to be putting sunscreen over my makeup. So then I'm going to prime with the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Primer. And really just focusing this on the areas where, I mean, my whole face gets oily, but obviously the T-zone is the most oily spot. So then for foundation, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. If you have oily skin in the summer, you really want to use a foundation that is going to be matte all day long, and I'm applying this with a Sonia Kashuk sponge. So this one is a super, for me, for my skin type anyways, this is a super long wearing foundation and it stays matte all day. And I look for those kind of foundations year round, not even just in the summer, because I still struggle with having really oily skin in the winter time as well. Obviously in the summer it's much worse, but oiliness is a year-long struggle for me. I just put this on the back of my hand and I'm like picking up product as I need it onto my sponge and then putting it on my face. Just so I don't go overboard with how much product I use, and it's a little bit easier to blend out if you go in with less and just add more as you need it. And I'm going to go in with some cream contour, and I'm using the Wet n Wild contour stick, and this is in the shade Call Me Maple. I'm going to just put this on my cheekbones, on my temples, under my chin, jawline, down my nose. And then I'm going to take this Luxie contour brush, nose contour brush, and place this above my lip and under. I always like to do cream contour before my concealer, because if I do get a little heavy-handed with this, then the concealer can just fix that. I'm gonna blend this all out with this Tarte buffing brush. And I always recommend laying down cream products if you want your makeup to last all day long, especially if you're going to something like Warped, any sort of event, day-long event, especially if it's going to be outside. This is just going to make your makeup last a lot longer. Okay, I'm gonna go in with concealer. I'm just using the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm gonna just do a little bit under my eyes. That's literally all I need for this. And then just a few dots on the forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on my chin. I'm gonna try and cover up some of these blemishes too. Yeah, a little bit of this goes such a long way, so I try not to overdo it. And I'm just going to blend that out with that same Sonia Kashuk sponge. Then I'm going to add some cream highlight, or liquid highlight, again as a base, so my highlight will last all day as well. And I always like to do this after I do concealer in case I accidentally cover up my highlight with the concealer, because as you saw, I blended my concealer like all the way up here, and I usually put highlight right here. So I'm going to be using the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the shade Moonlight. This is like a little baby sample I got. So I'm just gonna place a few dots here. And I'm gonna start by just tapping that in with my finger. And then I'll take my sponge and blend it out just a little bit more. And I drag this up above my brow. So now for powder, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. And I'm going to pack this on and let it bake all over my face for a while. And I'm just going to be applying that with a sponge. So I'm just going to put this under my eyes, avoiding that highlight I just put on. Or doing my best to avoid it. It's a little inevitable. Some of it's going to get covered. So if you have oily skin like me, or if you just want to ensure that your makeup lasts all day, if you're out in the sun and sweating and everything, then I'm telling you that the combination of the Too Faced Peach primer, foundation, and that powder, this is just made. It was absolutely made for people with oily skin, because it has changed my life. It's so, oh my god, my makeup is so much better now that I found these products and use them all together. So I'm just going to do my brows while this sits, and I'm going to do that off camera. And to do my brows, I'm just using the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit in the shade 3.5. So I just filled my brows in and dusted all that powder off camera. So now I'm going to spray my face. I just want to set this whole base down and all these powders down with some MAC Fix Plus. And then I'm going to set my brows with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Gel. Okay, so now I'm going to finish my lower lash line. And I'm just going to take a flat brush. This one's just a flat angled brush from Aesthetica that I got in a BoxyCharm. I'm going to take this dark brown shade down here and pack this really close to my lower lash line. I'm going to take this shade right here with a pencil brush. This is the Morphe R41, and just blend out and smoke out that lower lash line. And I'm not putting any eyeliner on my waterline or tight line. I'm not doing any eyeliner on my lid or any sort of winged liner, because it's not gonna last. You don't want black just pouring down your face. So then I'm gonna take a Morphe N574 and pick up this highlight shade here and use this to highlight my inner corner. Then I'm going to mix the two highlight shades and use that to highlight my brow bone. Now I'm just going to curl my lashes. I'm going to apply some mascara. I'm applying the Butter London Double Decker Lashes mascara. I just got this in a BoxyCharm a couple months ago. I recommend obviously using a waterproof mascara. I just do not have one right now, so I'm just gonna have to deal with this, but any mascara will do. I'm putting this on the upper and lower lashes. And then you can obviously add lashes if you want to. I don't really wear false lashes, so going to. And that is the eyes complete. So to move on to the face, I'm using the Smashbox Cali Contour Kit, and with this little crown brush, I'm going to go in with this shade here to contour. And then I'm going to use the shade here to bronze with a Morphe MB5 brush. Then I'm just going to take this Morphe M458 brush and use this to bake my contour and just clean this up. I'm just using a loose powder to do this with. I only let that sit for like a few seconds, so I'm just gonna dust this away now. And then I'm gonna take that Luxie nose contour brush that I used earlier and just use this to contour my nose, above my lip, under my lip, and I'm gonna mix the two shades together. This palette does have a really beautiful blush shade in it, but I didn't use that for this look. I wanted to use a blush that I knew was super long lasting, so I used the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush. This is a 12-hour blush. It lasts all day long, and this is in the shade Sensual. So I'm just going to apply that using a Morphe E4 brush. And what I like about these blushes is you can really build them up. Like, it's hard, you can't really go in with a heavy hand with this, so you can't really like mess up your look by putting down too much blush by accident. And then I'm just going to blend that out a little more with a stippling brush. Then I'm going to take this Morphe M438 brush and pick up some of this yellow setting powder in the palette and just pack this on underneath my eyes just to brighten everything up a little bit. And then I'm gonna use that shade and go over my nose contour just to kind of soften it and make it a little more natural. Then I'm going to take a Luxie M522 brush and mix the two highlight shades in this palette together and highlight that. So I'm just going to do my cheekbones and bring it up to above my temples. And then I'm going to highlight the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose and above my lip. So for lips, I seem to misplace the actual lipstick I used, but I originally lined my lips with MAC Oak Liner, and then I used one of the Kylie Cosmetics lipsticks that came in her semi-nudes collection, or not collection, it was like the semi-nudes 4 liquid lipstick pack, and it was the matte version of that. That was part of her summer collection last year. I don't remember, I used either Birthday Suit or Naked, I don't remember, but either way, I can't find it. I might have left it at my friend's house, so instead I'm just going to use the Kylie exposed lip liner and then top that with this L'Oreal Infallible liquid lipstick in the shade Sweet Tooth. These last all day long, so this would be a really good alternative to use anyways. I'm also going to top that with a gloss. And I did this just because my lips are burnt from the other day when I was at the beach. So I needed something a little more hydrating to put on top of it. So I'm going in with the Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer Lip Gloss in the shade Tease. I'm going to set everything with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. So that concludes this video and this makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did, and be sure to stick around through the end of the video if you want to see all my Snapchat footage from the concert the other day, from Warped Tour, and some outfit pics of what I wore if you're interested in that too. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.